Morning to everybody. Welcome. It's a Sunday in Bangkok. What is happening? Today we're going to talk about those people who they talk about escaping to Thailand, but they don't really talk about what happens after you get to Thailand. And, there's a lot of reasons why I'm talking about this. Basically, I know I said this a couple times already, but I see these guys and girls on Instagram, and all they talk about is I'm on my way to Thailand, or I've been in Thailand for 3 days. That's all they're talking about is getting to Thailand, and that's not what it's really all about. And the thing is I always think to myself, okay, in another 3 years, let's see where you are. In another year, let's see where you are. Because it's the first year, especially for younger people, it's the first year you got to get through. It's the first year you got to kind of do something instead of just escaping to Thailand. You can call it escape, you can call it whatever you want, but people want to leave. They're like, I'm tired of this place, or I want to. For me, it was I want to see the world. I want to see more of the world. And I was 31 years old when I started thinking about it. And I thought to myself, I'm 31. And in a few years, I'll probably be married. I'll have some kids. And I may never be able to go to many other places in the world. I don't know why I thought that. I thought my life will be grounded in going to work every day, getting my 2-week holiday every year, maybe going to Mexico, maybe going to another state. But I won't be able to travel the world. And so that's why I was thinking to myself, hey, I got to get out of here. And after a little while, I thought maybe I can do it. And I had no idea. I had no planning. But remember, this is more than 3 decades ago. Things were much different. And I had no idea what I was going to do. But I knew that back then it was a little bit easier to find work than it is now. But that brings me to now. And if you see all these people, and I mean there are loads. I'm not subscribed to them, but I get probably 20 a day. If I look through my Instagram and I'm looking through Reels, I get at least 20 a day. Maybe 10 of them are, hey, another 3 days and I'll be in Thailand. Or I'm in the airport. I'm on my way to Thailand, or whatever it is. Some of it is, I'm starting my life here in Thailand. I just got my apartment and I'm ready to go. Okay, go where? I understand that you can travel around. That's what I did in the beginning. But what else are you going to do? So that's pretty much what the gist of this conversation is going to be about. That is, if we get anybody in here. We've only got 4 people in here. What is going on? I don't know what's going on with the live stream. Listen, if you guys that are out there, if you like the live streams, click like. If you like the videos, please click like. If you want to see me do more live streams, especially live streams where I'm out and about and I'm traveling around, going to places that a lot of people, Charles, what's happening? Going to places where a lot of people don't go, or very few people go. because those are the kind of places that I like to go to, especially now, especially after all the time here, and I've been to a lot of places. Well, I want to go places where people aren't going, where a lot of tourists aren't going. That's why I went to Umpang. That's why I went to Lipe when there was nobody there. That's just the last 2 or 3 trips. I go to Surat. So if you want to see that, then hit the thumbs up. Maybe you get a VIP membership for $1.99 or whatever you want to contribute every month. Maybe you do that. But if you don't really care and you don't want to see me on here again, then we'll only have 6 people or 4 people or whatever it is, and I'll never get a super chat, which to me is like, okay, I understand. I'm not here to make a bundle of money. Not at all. But it would be nice from a business standpoint if I'm going somewhere, at least to make a little bit of money so I recoup a little bit. If I'm spending 20,000 baht and I make 2,000 baht, I'm like, hey, I'm happy. So if you like the live streams especially, and you like the videos, then do something, please. Continue to watch. Join and become a member. Become a Patreon patron. Use the Cash App. Do anything. Okay? Get some of my I have an American in Bangkok merch. Get some of that. Get one of my books. They're on Amazon. I got 2 books. Plus, I have another book that's just a PDF. Get something through Amazon. The link's down below in the description. Follow me on social media. Do whatever you want to do. Okay? But do something, because I don't see that much, especially when I go out and stream now. Listen, I haven't gotten any money in like the last 10 streams. I think I've made $20. I don't make anything. And most of the time I don't care, because that's not what it's about. I'm not here now to make a bundle of money. I'm not. But you know what? I get no love, man. And I hate to say that. And I don't want to gripe and groan. But that's how I view it. I get no love. You guys are getting any kind of information I give you, information on places to go, information on Thailand, information on whatever. You get to pick my brain. And I don't want to sound facetious at all, but you get to pick my brain. You don't have to pay anything. And to me, I'm like, what is the deal? All these people, they come here, and then you go to somebody. Listen, no hate on any of the other streamers or video makers. What do you call them? Content creators, influencers. No hate on any of them, because they're just doing what they got to do. But there are some people out there, they are real knuckleheads. They are absolute knuckleheads. And I was thinking, we talk about the guy, what's that guy's name? The Van Boys. I don't know who the boys are, because I never see anybody but him and maybe a buddy, and they don't seem to be the same. I don't know. And he seems like a nice young kid. But I think to myself, man, the guy is young. What does he do with himself all day? Is he just a beach bum? And that's what this is about, this video is about. You want to escape to Thailand, okay, and then what? What are you going to do with yourself? What is it you're going to do? Hey, Jim, how you doing? Jim and Jim, how you guys doing? Bruce, everybody. I don't understand, what is it that somebody does all day long, every single day? Now, for a couple of months, I understand. You can keep yourself busy. You can travel a little bit if you got money. You can travel. You can be a beach bum. You can go to coffee shops. You can do whatever. But what do you do with yourself all the time? I mean, up until a couple of years ago, I worked. I went to a job. I had to do that. I had to do research. I had to go places. I had to travel around the world. So what is it you're going to do when you come here? That's what I like to know. Well, I got enough of them now. I think there's about 2,000 videos and live streams online. And sometimes I think I'll just take them all off. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not making that much money. It's not like I'm making $1,000 or $2,000 a month. I'm not. So I just think to myself, I just take them offline. If you want to pay, you can see them. If you don't see them. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. You know, and I don't mean this in a really derogatory way at all. I don't. I just think maybe it's not worth it. And that's what I think about YouTube now. And I've read a lot about how, I mean, I got friends that have 300,000, 500,000 subscribers, and they're making peanuts. And nobody said that YouTube is going to be a viable way to earn a living. I understand that nobody promises you that. That's not how it works. But in the beginning, I made a halfway decent amount of money. And, you know, now it's like sometimes I barely get past the $100 mark to where they pay you in a month. I'm like, wow. Hard to believe. But okay, this is the way that it is now. And that's not what we want to focus on. Focus on all the people that say, I'm on my way to Thailand. Then you got all these people who are saying, oh my God, they're changing everything financially. I saw this guy who went to this big, long breakdown of how getting 30 days instead of 60 days is going to harm Thailand. And I mean, it was like 3 pages long. Mathematics, everything, graphs. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, Thailand doesn't give a flying fuck what you think. That's the thing. They don't care what you think. Whether it's good or bad, they don't care. They can't control one person. And that's what it's all about. They can't control one person. Okay? Now let me put this up here. And they will never be able to control one person. They can't do it. So why would they care? Do you think that New Zealand is caring about what one guy says about the country? You think Australia cares? Well, why would Thailand care? They don't. Okay? And the thing is that what everybody forgets about, and really this is, I mean, I hate to say this, but this brings me back to when I was coming here. You can stay for 30 days. That's it. Then what are you going to do? You're a tourist. You need to leave. That's all. Or you get an extension for another 30 days. At the time, it was 14 days for me because you fly in, fly out. If you're going overland, it was 7 days. And then they changed it to 30 days. And the thing is for the first 5 trips, I was a tourist. That's all I was. I was just a tourist. I was a tourist researching how to live in Thailand, what it would take for me to live here. And that's the thing. I see guys, they're like, I saw somebody and they're like, we're paying 60,000 baht a month for this place out in Chiang Mai. And I'm like, do you have that much money where you really want to piss away a couple $1,000s a month? And the house, I mean, yeah, it had a pool, but they're out in the middle of nowhere. And maybe that's what they want. So, okay, good on them. It's their money. They get to spend it however they want. But I see things like this. Somebody's talking about, I got this great place. And it's a tiny little apartment. And they've got, you know, the apartments come with amenities. They come with a gym. They come with, maybe they have a little child center where the kids can play. They have a work, what do you call it, workspace. They have something like that. And they have a pool. Maybe they, if you're lucky, they got a sauna. And because of that, the guy's going to pay, you know, $30,000 a month, but he's got a tiny little apartment. And I think I never did that. I mean, listen, I did stay in a place that cost me a pretty penny when I first came here. I paid 45,000. It was about 45,000 a month. It was 30,000 or 29,000 plus. I had to pay at the time. There were modems. I had to pay for an extra phone. So I had the modem that I could use the modem and I could receive phone calls all the time. And then with electricity and with gas and with water and what was it? Was it internet, I think? With everything, it worked out to where it was 40 to 45,000. And my wife, she nixed that like right away. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" I said, "Well, it's a great location. It was between Soy 1 and Soy 3 on Sukhumvit. So I could walk to Nana Plaza." And she's like, "You don't need to walk to Nana Plaza every night. You got me. We're together. What's going on? What are you doing? You don't need to be here." She said, "You come stay with me for a couple of weeks and we're going to find a place to live." I said, "Well, okay. Sounds good to me." Because I knew I was pissing away way too much money. And I wasn't really doing that much. So, that's kind of what she helped me do, is get focused. And that's the thing, when you come over here, what are you going to do? Have you ever asked yourself that? I mean, I understand the attraction here. Obviously, I do. I've lived here for a long time, and if it was a terrible place to live, I would be gone. There are other places. There are a couple places in Europe, maybe one or two places in South America that I would live. Maybe three, I don't know. Maybe one place, two places in Southeast Asia, maybe, that I would live. But would my family be happy? No, they wouldn't be. So, Thailand is great in many ways, but it's given me a lot of opportunities. It's given me experience. I got a wife from here, obviously. I got children now. I mean, my kid is 25 years old. My other one's 23. So it's not like, this place has not been good to me. And so this is not a video about Thailand being bad and you shouldn't escape here. You shouldn't escape, period. Unless you're a criminal. You were a prisoner, you broke out of jail, and now you want to escape and you head on over to Southeast Asia and you want to get away. And Thailand is not like it used to be, where you could disappear here. I saw somebody who said, the 5 places that you should go to disappear. And then I looked, and it wasn't about disappearing at all. It was about 5 inexpensive places where you can go and live. Now, if you were to choose 5 places to disappear, what in the hell? You wouldn't come to Thailand. It's too easy to find people here. For the most part, you can find anybody very easily. The Philippines, Vietnam, and all the places in Asia, you're going to be able to find people. Where are you going to disappear? Man, you might have to go to Africa. Hey, Huahin, what's happening? You might have to go to Africa if you really want to disappear. So, that's another subject. First of all, I don't think you can really disappear anymore. It's almost, thank you, Charles. You're always very generous, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, buddy. Let me know when you're in Bangkok again. Maybe we can get together. I don't know what's up with you, but I was supposed to go to Florida next month. Well, yeah, next month. In about 3 weeks, about 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks. I don't know that I'm going to go because there's 3 of us, and we want my wife to be able to go too. And I don't think she's going to be able to go. She doesn't have it. She has to go the way that her company sets it up for her to travel. And there's not enough time for her to go to Miami to hang out with us in Miami. So we may go maybe 3 months or so. But I know that when she comes back, I'm going on a trip somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm going to get out of here because I use ChatGPT a little bit now to do research about places to go and what I should think about and things like that. And what it told me is you don't need to be the news guy here. You don't need to be the guy who goes to the Grand Palace or shows people the Wat Arun or whatever it is. And I agree because I'm so bored with that stuff. And now you imagine you've been living somewhere for more than 30 years. And I like the place. I like coming to to the mall and doing what I do. I like doing that stuff. Thank you, Richard. America sucks. I need to escape. Well, I understand it. I do get it. I use the word escape. If it's you want an alternative. Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Just let me know and we'll hook up. I don't remember what I was talking about, but I remember alternative, and I just don't remember anything else. I'm getting old, man. I've encountered a lot of people who have come to Thailand as a means to escape. Oh, escape something else. Then they don't realize they're actually bringing that entity with them as well. Well, and I say it all the time, but wherever you are, there you are. So if you're leaving America and you've got alimony, you've got child support, whatever it might be, you've got a bunch of tickets. Okay, you'll escape the tickets when you leave, assuming they're not felonies. And even if they are, you might. But if you ever go back to that place again and they catch you, they just pull you over, and then you're screwed. And I wouldn't say, like, when I came over here, I didn't think I was escaping. I thought I was exploring. I wanted to explore different places, and I thought this is a great hub. Just left Terminal 21, Grand Aso, heading back to Hawaii. Oh, cool. For surf and business. I was just over there when? Well, I went a couple of days ago. I got a book. I go over to the M48 bookstore. And so what I did was I went, and it was about 9:30 or so. So I went to this place called, what is it, Mocha? Mocha by Koto or something like that. I forget the name of it. It's a restaurant. And you can sit outside and watch everybody come in and walk around and everything. And so I just sat there and I thought, oh, I'll get a coffee, just drinking coffee. I got to cut down on the coffee. 3 or 4 coffees a day is too much. I need like 1 or 2. But anyway, I see that they have this special. It's 195 baht, and you get a croissant, 3 pieces of bread, orange juice, Greek yogurt. You get honey, jam, butter, all that stuff. And there was something else you get. And it was 195 baht. I thought, oh, wow, great deal. And I don't usually eat that stuff, but I thought, I'll eat it. We escaped the high cost of living after 32 years. Building our home. Yeah, I mean, I know about Hua Hin, and I've been there many times. And I know what it was like more than 30 years ago. And, I know what it was like a couple years ago, the last time I went there, when I went with Billy. And Billy and Patia Ba. And, there are places there that you can stay that are very nice, and they're out of the, you're not, I don't want to be living among tourists. And I almost never see any foreigners in my village. Almost never. And in here, yeah, you see some. but usually they're with their girlfriend or something like that. And, and this is just a place for me to come have a coffee. I do streams less here now than in the past, but to do a stream, I haven't been in Akamara in a couple of weeks. I came here with Nicholas and got him a drink maybe a week, 2 weeks ago. And I get groceries. And I like the groceries because now I know where every single thing is. I know where it is. I don't even have to ask anybody. It's beautiful. I want a certain type of bread. I know where it is. I want curry. I know where it is. I want spaghetti. I want meat. I don't usually get the meat here. I get it from another place. No, Bangkok is, Billy is not in Thailand. He's in Texas. I think he's just waiting on his dog, man. I don't really know what he's doing. He tells me he doesn't really do. He's not doing much. He's not doing much there. Walks his dog, gets groceries, watches TV, and that's about it. Yeah, listen, I go out in Surat, and I almost never see anybody. That's why when the guy came to our house, the Westerner came to our house because he was after his sister. I was like, what the hell's going on? I was glad that he was gone, honestly. I don't like having another foreigner around, and I've got, I'm top dog, period. It's my wife's house. It's my house. It's her farm. It's our farm. You know what I mean? And we will build a house there. I don't know exactly when. It's not like, I'm saying, oh, we got to do this. But I'll tell you what, one thing, if you're going to come to Thailand, remember that if you're going to stay in Bangkok, there is pollution. There is noise. Now, when I go in my house, I generally don't hear all that much noise. Every once in a while. And I check for pollution. Now, generally where we are, it's a little bit lower. It's like moderate and maybe in the good zone. But I want to live somewhere, and my wife knows this, I want to live somewhere where there's a breeze, there's absolutely almost no pollution at all. There's very, very few foreigners. There's very few people. And people just leave you alone, say hello, hey, how you doing? Okay. That's what I want. And we can't really have that right now, not yet, because Nicholas is still in school. Anyway, let me get back to this subject that we were on. But eventually, when you come over, the thing is eventually the excitement wears off. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be Thailand, the Philippines, Vietnam. Doesn't really matter. Mexico, Portugal, Ecuador. It doesn't matter where you are. The excitement, the honeymoon phase will fade. It's just like a marriage, really. After a while, you're used to living each other. Okay, how you doing? Good morning. Yeah. Even my kids. Alex gets up. He's got to go to work and do everything. Morning, Alex. Morning, Dad. He goes in, takes a shower, does everything. All right, I'm out of here. See you later. Bye-bye. That's it. If I was back home in Florida, living in the Florida Keys, every morning when you wake up, okay, you can go and have breakfast somewhere. You can go and have a lunch somewhere. You can go and have a dinner somewhere. That could be what you do every day. You go and have a breakfast, and you hang out, clean your house, do whatever, and then you go and have a lunch. You can do that. But you got to come up with a routine that's going to do something that, even if it's normal, it feels like it's going to keep you busy no matter what. And, I always bring them up, but Jono is perfect example of that. I don't know so much about Bruce and Jim. I think Jim stays busy. But I know Jono, he's always cleaning his house. I mean, Jesus Christ, he cleans that house like, he's like Hazel. But he's always cooking. He's always, I got to go down to Macro. He walks down there. He's got to do whatever he's got to do. I don't think it's all the Keys a bit longer. I think Key West is the main place. And I don't really like Key West. I like Isla Morada, Matacumbi, Key Largo a little bit, but mostly Isla Morada and Matacumbi. And I don't know now. I don't know really how it is now. But we went down there I guess it was for the day. We went down and went to a park there, and we went somewhere else. We went to a couple places to eat, and I had conch fritters, and I had mahi mahi. In my day, we just called it dolphin. But now everybody's so woke. They're like, oh my God, you're eating dolphin. No, I'm not eating dolphin. I'm not eating porpoise. It's a fish. And in Florida, they call it dolphin. Well, now, that kind of sucks. But when you're in Bangkok, what you should do is stock up on the stuff you can't get where you are. I mean, we had some cow soy the other day, me and Nicholas. And I haven't had Thai food, and I usually don't eat Thai food. I don't eat much Thai food. Dolphin is great. Conch fritter is great. Key lime pie is fantastic. Rum cake is great. All those, I mean, I love those. I love all that stuff. But I'm not going to move back just to go there. Well, Villa Market is good. I would say it depends on the Villa Market, because I can tell you what, this is not the best fresh market. It is a very good fresh market, but it's not as good as some of the other ones, like the one down at M. Portier. That place is fantastic. I would say this place, because I've been to a couple of Villa Markets, and there's one that's pretty good, which is, I don't remember where the hell it is, but there's another one that's over by this coffee shop that I go to, Surya. All I know is from here, you go down, you go straight down, you pass up Ronkameng Road, and you just keep going straight, and then you take a left, and it's on the right-hand side. It's awesome. Awesome place. Yeah, I don't really buy that many groceries online, and I'll tell you why. A lot of the stuff that I get here, like when I buy cheese for the kids, I eat different cheese than they do. When I eat cheese for the kids, when I get cheese for the kids, I buy this cheese. It's always on sale, and it's 149 baht for 2 packs of 12. So I get them that cheese. Now my cheese, once in a while they'll have it on sale. It's 175 baht for 2 packs. Most of the time it's 175 baht for 1 pack. I get Greek yogurt. I get water. The water has been inexpensive. Now the price of the water has gone up. And Macro is pretty good. I get fish from Macro. I get scallops. I get tuna. I get salmon. I get scallops. I get barramundi. The barramundi is fantastic because it's only about 330 baht, and you get like 8 pieces. So it's like I'll eat like 2 pieces for a serving, and it's excellent. Anyway, you got to remember that eventually things are going to normalize, and you need to focus on what are you going to do to yourself. And I was thinking, I mean, this is probably 2 months ago. I was thinking to myself, when I came back from, where was I? From Surat, I thought to myself, what am I going to do with myself? Because I can't afford to travel all the time. But I could travel every month or two, you know, depending on where I go and, how much it's going to cost. And I was thinking about that, and I thought, there's not a lot of places that I really want to go, in Thailand. And so now I have to really look at where I want to go. The other day when I streamed, we went to Huatake, which is in Lat Krabang. Now, I streamed from there a long time ago, but I figure since we have new people in the stream on a regular basis, maybe they'd like to see it. Maybe we could go there. So I went. Wasn't thrilling to me, but there are places that I have in mind and things that I have in mind. They're projects, and that's what I'm going to do. And the thing is, when you first come to Thailand, everything is like you're looking around. Wow, this is so cool. Now that's not how I feel. I go to the grocery, it's just like going to the grocery in America. I go somewhere and I need a taxi, I need whatever. It's just like in America. It's exactly the same. It's just that society is a little bit different. The culture is different. The food is a little different. Now, the traffic is the same in many places. The people are different. The language is different. The nightlife is very different, but I don't really care about the nightlife anymore. Shit, last night I went to bed at like 11 o'clock. I was like, damn, I'm going to bed late. Most of the time it's 9 o'clock. Everything used to feel unpredictable. Now it's very predictable. And the thing is that if I want, I could go out right now. The other day I had 1,000 baht in my pocket. And I thought, okay, let's see where this will take me. And I spent 420 baht. And I went down to the river, and where else did I go? I went down to, what was the name of that place? Sunset Coffee, down to Chinatown, Halat Noi. I was down there, and I streamed. I spent 420 baht. It's nothing, right? You can go out and have an interesting time if you just go out with maybe 500 baht. You might discover a neighborhood you've never seen. Now, I heard of a neighborhood, what is it, Nang Luan? And I was like, oh, where's that? And then I see, oh, it's right near Bang Lampu. And I go, I've been there a million times. But the thing is, sometimes you go out and you meet people. Sometimes you find a little restaurant that you're like walking. That's what happens in Chinatown. You're walking around in Chinatown, you go down a little street and go, holy shit, there's a restaurant right here. Awesome. And they're, oh, wow, looks like good food. That's the beauty of being here for a while and trying to do things that are not so normal, making that a part of your day, making that part of your normal life. I'm about 3 to 4 hours from a brick and mortar store. Yeah, so you go every 2 weeks to a place and that's it. Macro is fine, but the steak leaves room to be desired. The macro run once a month. Low cost 2 shelves of roast products. Also, Villa has much better cuts of meat. Bangkok Bob's. Best meat I've found anywhere. Although a colleague of mine requests specific cuts of meat from their beef butcher. Well, that's me too. I do that also. You miss not having Walmarts. I never went to Walmart even when I did live in the United States. I didn't go to Walmart. Walmart was nowhere near as big as it used to be. It was Kmart was the big place. And before that, it was like Sears and J.C. Penney. But like now, I don't give two shits about Walmart. Really, I mean, you know, us geezers that are hooked up, the nightlife doesn't matter. Really don't miss Walmart. There's a big Lotus here. There's a Lotus across the street. And Robinson Mall has all the non-food products that would be found in Walmart. Yeah, Robinson has lost favor, in my opinion, from when I first came here. When I first came here, it was like, hey, you want to find a good-looking girl, you go walking around in Robinson. Maybe you find one working there in the perfume department. Oh, they just carried some lady out. She couldn't walk, apparently. But now Robinson is, there's not Robinsons everywhere. I mean, there may be in different provinces, but like, there's no Robinsons out in my area here. And I won't travel just to Robinson. Oh, I got to go to Robinsons to get something. It's just not the same as it was 30 years ago. Access for Western type Japanese is awesome. I do stock up. Finding new cool places is always a nice surprise. Kmart had a luncheonette and good pudding. I go to Walmart twice a year. Track phone yearly phone card. Jackson Hewitt taxes. Robinson used to be the upscale place back in the day. Yeah. And it was a place where I go, if I was walking around the town and I was hot, I would go walk around in Robinson and go look at girls and, you know, get perfume, cologne, whatever. I go look around there. And now I just, you know, I mean, even M. Courtier to me, now I've been to M Sphere once, and I'm like, what do I got to go to M Sphere for? Do I really care? I like Emporium. My wife likes to go to Siam Paragon and Central World. You know, I don't know, it's behind me. And the food courts are usually good. You know, the new Toyota Land Cruiser FJ. I like the 4x4 where there's Alt Muds Hills farming area. Yeah, we have. I don't know if ours is a 4x4. I don't know. I have to find that out. I'm not in. I don't really even go to Tops. I don't go to Tops. I don't go to Robinson. I almost never go to Lotus. You know what I go to Lotus for? Garbage cans. Stuff like that. That's what I go to Lotus for. So the thing is that, you know, it would be nice to be able to, every day I wake up and I go, oh, I'm going to go do something like that is so exciting and thrilling. And I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, all right. But today I woke up and I thought, maybe I'll just jump on a train and go somewhere. And then I thought, maybe I'll go to Pattaya. But I thought, where am I going to go? And I just thought, I don't feel like going anywhere. If I'm going to go, I want to go somewhere that I really want to go to. Yesterday, you know, there's a bunch of girls in the back. They work in the coffee shop in the back. And, you know, I've got to talk to them. I go there, you know, a couple times a week. And I said to one of them, have you been to Kanchanaburi? No, I don't go to Kanchanaburi. Have you been to Sankapuri? And she's, no, never been there. I mean, even my kids, they've been a few places, but my wife even, in Thailand, I've been like far more places than they have. And it's not because I'm such a, you know, studly traveler or anything like that. It's just that, you know, when I was working, I had to go to a lot of different places. Now I don't have to. Like my wife goes, oh, let's go to Chiang Mai. I go, I don't want to go to Chiang Mai. I've been there fucking 20 times already. What do I got to go there again? Oh, Chiang Mai. I've been there 10 times already. What do I want to go there for? You know, really, what do I want to see? What's exciting to me? I bought the new. Oh, okay. Robinson's Tops, Jeremy Fun. Tops is what? Tops in Texas. You talked the wife into the move yet? No. There's no difference between 20-year expat and a 1-week holiday maker. Both are nothing but a farang on the eyes of time. I think you're very wrong on that, but I don't think I don't really think you know any bit of a difference. I don't think you know the difference. I have to find a hobby. Got me 2 dogs, a golden retriever, and a beagle. I like beagles. Yeah, when it comes to the difference, first of all, do you live in Thailand and do you speak Thai? There's a big difference, huge difference. There's a difference between somebody who's visiting and somebody who's living here. I could argue this all day long, and you will never win, my friend. I'm sorry to say that. Anyway, well, if you speak Thai, things change. But if you're coming here for a week, you always get to go home. Now, if I really wanted to leave, I could leave. But I don't want to leave. That's the thing. I don't want to leave. But there's a huge, I guarantee you, there's a huge difference between me and somebody who comes here for a week. Hey man, wow, where can I get iced tea from? Where can I get a sandwich, man? I think you got your head up your ass, honestly. I really do. And I asked you a question. Do you live here? I've lived in Ratchada for 15 years. Do you speak the language? And do you speak it well enough to where you're not like, speaking 2 words of Thai? I think there's a huge difference. And so I have to disagree with you, respectfully. I think that you have absolutely no clue. I don't know why, or maybe you're hanging out with westernized Thais all the time. I don't know. I don't know what makes you feel that way. I don't know. Tell me. I'm interested. And you say there's the expats, long-term expats find it hard to accept. Yeah, I find it hard to accept because I don't think it's true. That's the only reason. It's not because I want to disagree with you. I don't want to disagree. I wish I could agree with everybody, but I can't. But I will say this. Yeah, both are definitely farang, but they have different standings. No. I don't say that. But I do understand what he's saying because now I look at it again and it says both are nothing but a farang in the eyes and size. If a Thai doesn't know you and you haven't said anything, then you are the exact same. Both of you are foreigners. But once you speak and you enlighten them a little, because I do it all the time. I mean, seriously, I got so many Thais that I know. I mean, anywhere I go, I know people. And most of them know. Oh, he's been here a long. I've been here longer, and you too. Now you're 15 years. You've been here longer than a lot of people. 32 years. I'm. There are people. They're just some kid, and you go, hey, Farang, and no, Saparod, whatever. I'm like, hey, dude, I've been here twice as long as you've been alive. And just because I got white skin, okay, I'm a foreigner. I don't care. That doesn't matter to me. I always will be a foreigner. So why wouldn't they view you that way? So you are a farang in the eyes of them, but once you start speaking to them and they get to know you a little bit, you are not the same. And you are not the same. You, as a 15-year expat, and me as more than 30 years, I am not the same as some tourist who comes in, and they may think that in the very beginning. But once they talk to you, I guarantee you they're going to figure it out real quick. I mean, listen, you get into a taxi and you start talking to a taxi driver, you say 2 words of Thai, and I wouldn't say 2 words of Thai, maybe 10 words of Thai. And then he's like, oh, you can speak Thai. Oh, how long you stay Thai there? And you tell him, oh, shit, oh. And then he knows, oh. It's just like the Thai say, Thai girls who say, oh, Farang lu mak, mi chop. They don't like the foreigners who speak too much, who know too much. They don't like that. Because they know, oh, he knows the whole score. He knows he's just like me. He's on my level, or at least close to it. Anyway, I don't necessarily disagree with them like I thought I did because I read the comment again. They do think of you as a foreigner. No matter what, you will always be a Farang. That's exactly how it should be. I mean, I'm different than them. I look different than them. I don't look like an Asian. Anyway, the thing about somebody who's been here a week and somebody who's been 15, 20, 30 years, 50 years, most people who have been here for a while have built a life for them. Just like they would build a life back home in wherever they live, wherever they're from. People want to move here for freedom, and it's not necessarily the freedom that you think of. It's like freedom from stress and from bills and from the grind and from work and my buddy sent me a message yesterday. What? Poop eating? Look, touch here something exposed to tourists. They know all of the Farangs they meet are here are assimilated. Yeah, I mean that's because you're in the countryside. But I think that in Farang sentiment is through the roof. Sentiment how? I'm curious to know what you mean. Listen, I don't get any attitude from Thais when I talk to them. I just speak to them in Thai, and I don't speak to them in English. And they try to speak to me in English, and I speak in Thai. In some respects, if they're a lot younger in the years you've been in Thailand, you're still more Thai than they are in some ways. Yeah, in some ways. And I can tell you, like, my kids and many other young people, and my wife had told me about this a long time ago, and I didn't believe it. Many of them, they don't eat spicy food. They can't eat spicy food. They don't like it. Now, that doesn't necessarily make them not Thai, but you know what I mean. So when you come here, really, what are you free to do? Because when I came here, I thought, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I thought, well, why couldn't I do that back in the U.S.? And I guess if I really wanted, I could have. Because when I was working in the U.S., you care about what your boss thinks. You care about what the customers think. You care about what people think about you. I don't really care about what people think about me now. Now, I try to carry myself in a somewhat dignified manner. I don't go out and not wear a shirt, wear holey pants, and let my ass hang out. I don't do those kind of things. But you just carry yourself in a presentable fashion, and that's all that's important. And the freedom, I got freedom to do whatever I want, even with my wife. That's one thing about my wife that she's good about things, is that she knows, especially I traveled before she ever traveled. So I was always going to different places working. Now she's got to travel. Well, sometimes I travel with her, and sometimes I don't, and I don't really care. She's got things to do. Let her go do them. That's how I look at it. You know, but if you woke up and you didn't have any job or a boss or a schedule or a commute, anything you had to do, like when I first got here, I had money in the bank and I just thought, I can do whatever I want. If I want, I can go to the bar. If I want, I can go take a little trip somewhere. I can do anything. And then if you think, what am I going to do this Tuesday? Most of the time, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't have a clue. If you ask me, what am I going to do next Thursday? I don't know. Sometimes I have appointments, but not all that many anymore. I used to have a lot more. I used to be busy. When I was a journalist, I was always busy because I was always traveling around. When I worked in the boxing team, I was busy and I had appointments and things like that, and I couldn't get out of them. But to me, that was fun. And if you look like a guy like John, he planned for 10 years to move to Thailand, and now he's golden. He's happy, he's content, he's comfortable, and the move was very easy for him. Buying the plane ticket is always very easy. It's the purpose, finding the purpose of what you're going to do that is difficult. Finding a place to live. You may think it's a pain in the ass, but it is rather easy. But, some of you are back in the States, I know that, but for the people who are moving here or contemplating a move, then what are you going to do when you go, oh, I've got to get up and I've got to go do things? What are you going to go do? Why do you have to get out of bed? Not everybody thinks just sleeping on the beach all day and getting a suntan is the way to go. You got to have you got to build your life around a couple of key things, whatever they may be. Whether it's a business or, if you want to. I mean, listen, I used to carry my camera every single place I went. I used to have that camera everywhere. I'd be streaming and I'd have the camera and I'd be taking photos. I took pictures everywhere. Now, I'm just like, I got my phone. I'll take a picture with my phone. I'm not making money. I haven't made money since I sold in the gallery. I don't know what that was, maybe 2 years ago. And I'm like, I'm not going to make any money from it. I don't have to go and do it. It's not like it's a job anymore. It's something to do. Some people volunteer. Some people, they study Thai. Some people, maybe they've got things they've got to do where they concentrate on their family. I'd have to do that sometime. My kids are older, so I don't have to do that. They're not really kids. They're young men. The details don't really matter. What's really important is that you have a reason to wake up. I don't know. Anti-Farang sentiment is through the roof. I don't know, man. I don't see that, honestly. In some respects, if you're a lot younger, okay, I saw that. What is this? I also spent 10 years on the moving process. You can't buy the ticket a year plus in advance up to. I understand that. Jesus Christ. Most people don't buy a ticket a year in advance. And I know, there's a lot of guys, I don't remember who they are, most of them, but some guy the other day said, yeah, I'm coming. Maybe it was you, I don't know. I'm coming out there next June or something like that. It's a year. And I'm like, a year's a long way off, man. Anything can happen. The mall is now officially open. Not that many people. Not that many people today. You know, you think about um, some guys, they they get everything they want. They get the apartment. They're right on the beach. They have freedom. They're retired, and yet after a couple of years, they're bored out of their head because they don't really know what to do with themselves. They never figured out what to do next, and that's why I say, and then what? Somebody asks you a question, you know, somebody will say to you, "Oh, Scott, you look like you gained some weight," and so, what are you worried about that for? Oh, you look like you're too skinny now, and what are you worried about? I'm not worried about it, so why are you worried about it? Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. How did you get in early? Because the coffee shops open up early. They have an outside entrance. You must be in the wrong area. I experience nothing but respect while out and about. Well, and I have told this to Jim. You may experience a lot of respect from people. You may get it all the time. But then if something goes wrong and they're really adamant about something, it's really important to them, maybe in a business deal, they may not be so respectful. They can turn on you. And that has happened. It's happened to me a couple of times, but I mean, you know, I used to have a guy that I worked with, good friend of mine, Thai guy, good friend. We were close. Um, and as soon as the team kind of broke up and we weren't doing fights and stuff like that, I talked to him one time in the last 15 years. I've talked to him like one time, and that's it. And that was at a fight with a guy that we knew from the Philippines. We went out to support him, and that was the only time I've seen him. And he never calls me. I don't call him. He doesn't want to hang out with me. I don't know what the deal was, but you know that's the way it goes. Aside raising my family, I need to find hobbies or interests, especially surfing is not an option for now. Why? Because you got to go back. You can surf, but you got to surf. You got to find places to surf in Thailand, and they're not as good as in Hawaii. Trade, invest, read books. I read a lot. I cook, explore more, work on my Thai. Yes, walk the dog, swim, exercise, smoke weed, watch boxing. Life is good. Yes, I have a lot of things like this to do. When I'm bored, I go, all right, well, let me do something else. I'm always reading a book. Always. I think I mentioned this the other day. I have, I like, uh, I like the Ripley movie. It's called Ripley. What was it? What was it called? The something Ripley. I forget what they called it. Let me see here. The Talented Mr. Ripley. Oh, I didn't know Purple Noon in 1960 was the first time. But in 1999, The Talented Mr. Ripley. And so I decided to get the book. And I bought the book. And then I bought the next two books. And I've read them all. So I've read three of the books. Now I'm on the fourth book. There's only five. But there are two books by this woman that I want to read, this author. And so I'm going to buy those books afterwards. And then after that, I mean, I just bought a book the other day. It was Carl Hyacin, who was a writer for the Miami Herald when I was a kid. And what's funny, I should mention this, is that when I was a kid, I used to read the Miami Herald, and there was a guy named Pat Putnam who wrote for the Miami Herald, and he also wrote for Sports Illustrated. And this is probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I was writing for a website called The Sweet Science. He was on The Sweet Science, and we got into contact with each other because he liked what I was writing. He loved what I was writing. And we started talking back and forth, and we got to be friends. And I was like, wow. And he was older. And then one day I was like, what happened to him? He passed away. I get up, feed the fish, do pond maintenance a couple days a week. I'll cook some Western style food to freeze for future dinners. Do home maintenance on a daily basis. As I try to train modern kids in a factory, flip it like a book. Or what? Listen, there's something to be said about the old ways, if you know what I mean. And books are just one thing that I really like. I met him. I talked to him. I went to a seminar by him at a WBC conference. He was being paid to speak at a conference. But I met him a couple times. He's a nice guy, but he was a great fighter, fantastic fighter. What was he, 50-0 with one draw or something like that? I forget what he was, but he was great. He was awesome fighter. I saw him fight in Cabazon Band of Mission Indians casino. It's a casino, but it's the Indian land. And he fought there once, and I saw him fight. Gennaro Hernandez also, I met him. I met all kinds of boxers. I don't meet as many now, but I met all kinds of boxers. I met Sugar Ray. I met tons of guys, man. Cornelia Boza Edwards, Hagler, Julian Jackson, Tommy Hearns. Although Tommy Hearns it was tough to get near him because he had a bunch of bodyguards that were like, they're all like 6'6", 350 pounds. Would drive me around the bend if the Thais were calling me my Thai-born kid of Iran. It would drive me around the bend if the Thais were calling my Thai-born kid of Iran. Well, they don't call my kid of Iran. Yes, I would train my son in boxing to hold his own with his hands. I hope I can find a good Muay Thai school in Petra. I'm sure you can. Well, they want me to pay the Farang price in a park. They don't want my kids to pay the same price. My kids never have to pay. They pay just whatever Thais pay. That's all. All that shit doesn't bother me. I don't care. If I really want to go there, I'll just pay. I don't give a shit. It's not that much money, and I don't like the principle of it. But okay. But if it's not that great of a place, I tell the story all the time. There's a place down in the south. There's a place down in the south where there's fossilized oysters in the rock. I think it's in Nakhon Si Tamarat. And we went there. And it was like, oh, this is 400 baht to get in, and this is 40 baht for Thai people. And I was like, I'm not paying that. I don't know, it could have been 200 baht. But I just went, you know what? I'm going to go walk around. They had all kinds of stalls, like little huts and stuff like that. I'm just going to go walk around. I'm going to find a coffee shop. I'll sit there. Come find me when you're done. And I went, and as soon as they went in, they came back in like 15 minutes, and they go, it's nothing. Just a bunch of stuff in the rocks. I'm building an SaaS app using Gemini, coding for lights and water control. Next, start my solar project and other tech start. Okay, sounds fun. That's what all the newbies say. Oh, God. How old are you, crazy fish? My local national park charges me for on prices, but other nearby national park only charges me local prices. Yeah, the resident card, sometimes it makes a difference, sometimes it doesn't. But I don't honestly, I don't care. And like the money is not that big of a deal. You know, I've talked about the tipping and stuff like that. I've talked about that. And if you come here and you know you're in a taxi and it's 53 baht and you've got 50, let's say you have exactly 53 baht, um, or you have 60 baht, what do you give him? Well, if the guy's an asshole, I give him 53. But if he's pleasant or he doesn't really bother me, or you know, if he's got to turn around or do anything, I just give him the tip. It's no big deal. It's only a couple of baht, you know. That's Holloway or McGregor. Um, I don't know. I don't think Holloway is the same as he used to be, but McGregor hasn't fought in. Um, he hasn't fought in years. So I would probably say Holloway, just because I think he's got a little momentum. You know, he's been fighting, and McGregor doesn't, and McGregor hasn't looked good in a number of years. And I like McGregor. I don't care about, you know, he's a crazy bastard. I don't care about any of that shit. Holloway's crazy too, you know. After haggling about paying for on prices and paying the higher amount, they asked me to pose for a photo. I just say no. I say no. I don't have a Thai driver's license, and I don't really want one. Well, everybody says that, but nobody knows that. And you don't know when the last time he did coke was, or if he's ever even really done it. I think he has. Wouldn't you, if you were worth, you know, $500 million? I don't know, maybe. All right, do me a favor. We've had about 35 people in here. We got 16 thumbs up. So do me a favor, hit the thumbs up if you would be so kind. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell. Hit the join button down below for the VIP section. Hit the, what is it called? Super chat. Hit the super chat. Hit the cash app. Hit the this. Hit the that. Just keep on watching. You know, I don't even know what to say. The driving license does not change your place in the social. Who gives a fuck about the social hierarchy, dude? You keep talking about that. I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks about me. How, as long as I'm treated decently, I don't care. And if they don't want to treat me decently, I'll go somewhere else. It doesn't matter. That's the thing. It doesn't matter. And the guys and the girls that I talk to, generally, they treat me very well. And if somebody wants to be an asshole, then let them be an asshole. They can be an asshole. I don't care. That's the thing. I don't care about what anybody thinks. I don't give a fuck about what these people think. You mistake me for somebody who gives a shit. Why would you care about what somebody else thinks about you? None of my business. So charge me for wrong price with the resident card. Most wherever business. Again, that's something that I'm over all that. It's the way that it is. Now, if they change it, great. But they haven't changed it the whole time I've been here. And it doesn't matter what you do. They're going to try to charge you sometimes, and sometimes they won't. Listen, I go to the ancient city. They never charge me. Never. I start speaking to them in Thai, and they go, oh, here. I joke with them a little bit. Boom. Okay, here you go. No problem. piece of cake. But you go to another place and they're like, no, you can't do that. And it's usually some little guy who, he's got a little power because he's the guy with the tickets. And he's just like, no, I'm charging you. I'm charging you. You got to pay this. Okay, whatever you want. Now, if it was $50,000 instead of $5,000, I'd be pissed. But it's not. So again, why would you let anything like that ruin your mood? Usually I'll let it ruin my mood for about 2 seconds. And I go, whatever. Thailand is not the goal for people. Building a life here should be the goal. And if you go to a place and they want to charge you more money, you got 2 choices. You either pay it or you don't pay it and you don't go in. That's how I look at it. There's only 2 choices. You can try to reason with them, and if you're lucky or if things work out, great. Then you get to go in and you pay the Thai price. If they're an asshole or if they're difficult or they just don't want to give you the price, then you go, listen, I don't want to go in. That's all right. You lost my business, buddy. But there's a big difference between building a life and actually just coming here to spin your wheels and sit on a bar stool. And I look at it like this. If you have unlimited money and you're here in Thailand and you don't have to work, what would you do? It's not a vacation, but you live here. It's your life. What would you make your life look like on, like today's Sunday, and you go, all right, I'm going to take today and tomorrow and just relax. On Tuesday, I'm going to, what would you do? You can't handle the skin tax on it, you need to make more money or leave, like Scott said. It's annoying, but if you dwell on it, you lose. Yeah, I don't want to let any of that shit get to me. We are all eternal guests. Get on the change. Get on the chance. Cane the bar scene. And check out a soapy from time to time. Okay. If that's what makes you happy, then go for it. I don't have to go to a soapy anymore if I don't want to. If I want to, I could. I've been to plenty of them. I've been to so many soapies in my life. I don't remember them. I don't remember all of them. I've been to soapies in Chiang Mai. I've been to soapies in God knows where. Well, that's why you have to learn to read the language in Thai. That's the question I ask myself every day now. Well, yeah, you're a perfect example of it. Okay, so you got some money. What are you going to do with yourself? I have the same problem. Sometimes it's not enough money, but most of the time, I'm fine. I live within my means. And our family is fine. At least, we're all right, knock on wood. So you have to think, what are you going to do? And I can't do the things that I used to do. I don't know that I'll be able to go on, 50-kilometer march anymore. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I got it in me anymore, to be honest. Well, have fun, buddy. Have fun. That's the name of the game, is to have fun. Where are we now? 80 minutes. What What would you do if you had the money? What would get you out of bed? Why are you moving to Thailand? What is the reason you're moving to Thailand? Is it just financial? Well, and I know a few people who it's just financial. But guess what? They move to a place like Pattaya and then they go, oh, well, I got enough money to live here, but I don't have enough money to move anywhere else right now. I don't have enough cash. What happens after you've been here 6 months and the honeymoon is over? What kind of hobbies do you have? Now, I used to like bowling, and there used to be uh, bowling lanes right across the street. They're not there anymore. Bowling is hard to find now. It's not as, it's not all that difficult, but it's a lot harder than it used to be. You could go to any mall, and there was always a bowling lane. There's a bowling lane upstairs. Not anymore. So that's the question. What's your Monday going to look like? Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, shit. Excuse me. I would love to go bowling. While at Zion Paragon a few weeks ago, I saw they had alleys. We were headed to a concert. No time for a few strings. There's another place. I think it's over by Tonglo or Ekamai or somewhere over there. I forget. I should take Jono over there and take him bowling. It could be fun. They got these movie theaters where you go and they're very, very comfortable. They got big recliners. You can do all kinds of things. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You can just go to the gym. You can go for a walk at the park. You can hang out at the park. I was going to tell my wife the other day, we got this basket that somebody gave us. And we put, they put, what do you call it? Scotch whiskey in it. And I took the bottle out, put it on our table. Future Park is far, man. I'm not going to Future Park to go bowling. Good morning, Mr. Scott. Hope everything is well with you and your family. Yes, indeed, everything is well. Future Park is far, man. There's no way in hell. How you doing, Cyrus? Charles is in the house, another Hawaiian. Cyrus here, smiling in Bangkok, is Hawaiian also. So there you go. One thing that I've noticed about this Swenson's, and I don't know if it's a training Swenson's or what kind of Swenson's it is, but they used to change the staff quite a bit. They'd have like two or three girls that would stay there, and then all the other staff would change, and then one day they're just all gone. Now all the staff has changed. They used to have a couple of different girls that were the bosses. They're gone. All of them are gone. Everybody is different now. I don't know what happens here at the mall. It seems like there are certain people. There used to be a girl that would stand over by the yogurt, and all she would do is just say hello and hand people a little piece of paper, or hand them um, a little what do you call it, a little sample or something like that. And then I see she's working over at like this store that sells shoes. I'm like, what happened? And I see people. One minute they're like stocking the shelves, and next thing you know, they're the cashier at some store. That happens. I don't know why. Just thinking. Great video on the rise and fall of bowling not long ago. It was very interesting. Emmanuel and Annie's. I don't know. Is Annie's still around? I don't even know if that place is still open. I've been there before. I've been to both of those places, but it's been a long time since I've been to Annie's. Sounds like Target. No employees there last longer than 6 months, so they don't have to pay more than the minimum. Well, I got to tell you that in the back at that coffee shop, in the back where they sell really good coffee and they got all kinds of other stuff there, I got to know uh, most of the girls there. And the guys too. There's a couple of guys there. The girls are like, "Oh, tomorrow's my last day." One of them's gone. Another one, today's their last day. Another one, halfway through the month, next month. Now they hire these new people, and like, I'm like, oh God, you know, they're not the same. It's never the same. It's like going to Starbucks and you know all the girls, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and you got all these other people. Hi, what's your name, sir? You know, I don't like it. I told them, you can't go anywhere. You got to stay here. What are you doing? Can't go get a new job. Yeah, but I'm going to make more money. Oh, okay. You go. Anyway, so if you're going to escape, leave, do whatever you're going to do to get to Thailand, you have to think getting to Thailand is very easy. All you do is buy a ticket. And what I used to do is say, buy the ticket, the rest will come. You buy a ticket 3 months away. You make sure you make enough money and you've got enough money saved where you can stash some more money. And then you come over here and you take a visit. You see if you like it. And if you want to move here, you start putting stuff away, putting the money away. And you figure that's what you do. Buy the ticket. That's easy. It's then what? I consider it me tipping so well that they retired. I don't know anything about. Yeah, I haven't. Robert, you don't even live here. What are you worried about the Thai Immigration Act if you don't live here and you don't visit here? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know, but I went to that and I've used that place before. I love those kind of places. You just drive your car right in, they close the curtain behind. Oh God, those places are great. Those are great. It's good that they're modernizing. I mean, oh, it's as sleazy as you can come. You know, God. I used to go there all the time. I didn't want girls coming to my apartment. You know, too many problems. So this little girl is wearing a shirt and it says, "Girls love my swag." One thing that I find humorous is that Thais will wear shirts that are English shirts. maybe their brother gave it to them. Maybe they bought it for 49 baht or whatever it is. But a lot of times they don't know what it means. And my wife, when I first met her, yeah, girls love my swag. My wife was wearing a shirt that said "Junkie Baby Powder," and it had a picture of a little baby on the front with a syringe and powder next to it. And I was like, "Do you know what this is? What this means?" And she's like, "No. Well, what is it?" And then I was like, "Unbelievable." Anyway, keep hitting that like button, please. Oh, is this the one I was just talking about? Yeah, it is. It's the girl I was just talking about who moved to the shoe place or whatever. She's a lot more knowledgeable now, man. I mean, that was almost 30 years ago. She knows her English is much better now. She would know that in a minute. Sometimes I notice though. Sometimes I'll say some words and Nicholas or Alex will go, "What is that? What do you?" And I'll go, "Oh, let me show you." And then I show it to them in a dictionary. I explain it to them, because I want them to have a good grasp of the English language, a better grasp than, well, I want them to have a much better grasp than the average Thai. But I want them to have an excellent grasp so that if they want to talk to somebody, there's no problem conversing with somebody. And they don't have a problem, so it's good. Anyway, nobody has told me what they would do if they had money and they had moved to Thailand. Now you got money, you're retired, or what I always wonder about is what are these young people doing? And I see these people. Oh yeah. I just I had my flat here and I was renting it for this much a month. Now I'm gonna move to Thailand. I'm like, okay, so how are you gonna make a living? You're 32 years old. You're 35 years old. It's not easy to make money here. So how are you gonna move here? I mean, eventually the money will run out. Well, in most cases, the money will run out. I mean, some people they got plenty of money and it won't run out. Often, when on tour, the operator will provide us with a hat or shirt. Latest on this shirt, I just a grill. Oh, I just a girl. I am a millionaire. I was poor most of my life. My habits have not changed, and neither will mine. My habits have not changed, nor will they in the future. I mean, listen, if I wanted, I could go out and buy a car. I could buy a motorcycle. We could do it. We have a car in the South. So, if we need it that bad, we can get it. But we don't. That's the thing. We don't need it. You know. And I was just thinking this morning, God, maybe I should get maybe I should get myself a motorbike. I could go and travel around and do stuff, and I just thought I do that anyway. Straight down to Pattaya and become a bar manager. Put money into a pension monthly. Okay. Is that what you do? Grill was their typo, not mine. I mean, listen, you go do that. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. I don't want to be in that atmosphere. I don't want to be there because I don't want to be drinking all the time, because you will be giving away free drinks, drinking with the customers. I don't want to do that shit. being around all the girls who are a pain in the ass, especially if you're the guy who controls the purse strings. I want nothing to do with that scene. Really, that's funny. You sound like a young guy. You're definitely not 60 years old, 70 years old. You're not at that age group. There's no way. You got to be like 35 or something. I mean, none of my friends, and I got friends that are 50, 55, 60. I mean, I'm older now, so I have older friends. None of them think that way. Not a one. They don't even like going to like Billy is, I think, 51 or something like that. Even him, he doesn't want to go to a bar. If he goes to a bar, it's for one reason. And that's it. Yeah, mid-30s. I knew it. Enjoy yourself now. Enjoy being young. That's what I'll say. There is no chance in hell that I would go work in Pattaya. I wouldn't live in Pattaya. It's just my thing. If I was going to live in Pattaya, I would live on the outskirts of Pattaya. Yeah, well, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I saw some girl on Instagram the other day, and she goes, "If you want to find a good Thai girl, don't go into the bars." I'm like, "Yep." What does that mean? AKA who it is. What does that mean? It has no meaning to me or probably to nobody else. You're the only one who understands it. See, this is the thing. Honestly, if you have a girl and she's got a fine body and she's dancing on a pole, and you can see that body, that's not what I mean. Um, okay, great. She looks great. But you see one and you can just tell through her clothes she's got a nice body. I would rather take the one in Swenson's than the one from the pole. Now, granted, the one from Swenson could have been run through, uh, who knows? But I doubt it. Oh, you go. Listen, there's a park down the street. You go there at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. There's two parks. There's Nawamin and then there's Sunnybrook. You go to either one of them. There's all kinds of girls here, and I met at Sunnybrook. I've met quite a few. Now they're just being friendly, but like I don't want anything. I don't want a little piece of ass. I don't want any of that. So for me, it's not a big deal. But if you're listen, you walk around the mall, go to the grocery store, go to 7-Eleven, go wherever, and be decent, be clean, be presentable, and you'll eventually meet somebody. It's that simple. Anyway, that's about it. That's about the size of it. So don't escape. You don't need to escape. If you're a criminal, they're going to catch you. But if you just want to get away, you want something different. Okay, make a change. Make a change and have a plan. That's what you got to do. Make a change, have a plan, and then have a plan to do something once you get here. Not just sit around, not just hang out with your buddies, not go to the bar school. Don't. You don't have to do that. Figure something out. There are plenty of things to figure out, plenty of things to do. You know, very easy to figure out. But most people, they, at least in the beginning, they think that they're so excited about being here that, and this, I think this is part of the thing. What happens is, once the honeymoon phase is over, I think a lot of people just go, "Oh yeah, I lived in Thailand for 6 months, and now I'm going to go back home." Well, yeah, you didn't want to live here. You wanted to visit here long term. Maybe it's a year or two. You wanted to stay and see what it was like, and then you thought, okay, now it's time for me to go somewhere else. I'm going to go to Vietnam, or I'm going to go to Ecuador or Portugal or wherever, and then it's time to move on. That's what a lot of people do. And that's what I would say most people who are in their 20s and 30s, that's what they do. When you get to around 47, 48, people start thinking about retirement and that kind of thing. How can I get to the retirement age? But I think people in their 20s and 30s, obviously there are people that work here legally. They're working for companies here. But the people who aren't, maybe they're on a DTV visa, maybe they're just trying to wing it. But I would say if you come here, the most important thing is to have something to do. There's nothing beeping. You spent 6 months. I don't listen. I had a friend. I've talked about him in the past. He got all pissed off because he said, "Oh, the girls think I'm really handsome," and I laughed at him. And I go, "Come on, dude. You really think you're that handsome? You're not." And he goes, "Yes, I am." What do you mean? He was like pissed off at me. But all he did was he was in Bangkok, and all he would do was he would have a girl that he would meet. He would meet with her, and if he liked her, he would hook up with her, and he would stay with her for the whole 2 weeks that he was with her. And all they would do is just hang out, go places, screw, and that's all they did. And he's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah," and he would say, "Oh, I live there part time. I live in Bangkok part time." I was like, "You were here for 2 months. You don't live here part time." He hasn't. I don't think he's been back to Bangkok in many, many years. So, anyway, I gotta go. It's time to go. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you, Charles Akana. You're the one and only. Thank you once again. I appreciate it. Um, yeah. Thank you very much. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'd say if you're in your 30s, you should try to plan long term. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I started planning when I was in my 30s. I started thinking about what am I going to do in the future. Take it easy, Jim. Take it easy, everybody. Till next time, I'm Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. Choke me, Leo Jakenmai. It's good luck and see you again. Take care. Ule to eng. Take care of yourself. All right? See you later. See you later. See ya. See ya. How come this isn't working? What is going on here? It's not gonna. I can't shut the thing off. Oh my god! It won't. It won't let me shut it off. That's unbelievable. How am I supposed to do this? Uh, Let me see something here. Yeah, it won't shut it off. That's really wild. I don't know why. Anyway, what is this? There's no way for me to shut this thing down. I don't know what to do, man. All right. I'll just close the